I'm afraid it's been 9 years.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Young here and welcome to another Metal Gear Solid 5 news update. Yesterday, I took apart and analyzed the trailer that finally answered many of our questions about Ground Zeroes and the Phantom Pain. Today, I want to talk about a brief gameplay showcase running on a PC demonstrated by Kojima himself. I do recommend you watch my previous video, the trailer analysis, before proceeding. Now, before I get into the gameplay video, I would like to make 2 corrections from my trailer analysis. First, I raised the possibility that the white horse that Ocelot is riding could be the boss's horse, but citizens of our nation have noted that Big Boss ends the horse's life during the events of Peace Walker, disproving the possibility entirely. However, how cool would it be if the horse ends up being the son of the boss's horse, with the boss's son, Ocelot, riding it? That'd be all kinds of badass. The second correction I would like to make is a statement I made regarding the movie Blood Diamond, which I used to make a point that South Africa, where Outer Heaven is eventually relocated, is a known location for blood diamonds, which are diamonds mined during conflict and sold to finance an insurgency, which could end up playing a role in MGS5 as indicated by the Diamond Dogs logo on Snake's jacket. Contrary to my previous statement, the movie does not take place in South Africa, but its ending is based on true events that took place there. For more context, again, watch the trailer analysis. Alright, so there's that. Now let's take a look at the gameplay footage. As revealed by Kojima, this entire hospital section, only partially shown at GDC, is an on-rails tutorial section which will help players get used to the controls the same way Snake gets used to his body again after a 9-year coma. Seconds into the video, Snake's voice will instantly jump out.
What happened to the woman? We gave her a light. She took the short way down. Who are you?
It's not David Hayter. A few videos ago, I covered news on David Hayter's tweet asking people what they would think if he didn't voice Snake in the next Metal Gear Solid game. This tweet exploded all over the internet, leading me and others to believe that perhaps David Hayter won't be voicing Snake in the next Metal Gear Solid game. Looks like my assumption became reality after all, unfortunately. The big question now is why? My top reason would be that Big Boss is getting old. If you've played Metal Gear Solid 4, you will know that old Big Boss was not voiced by David Hayter, but by Richard Doyle. And if you look at the footage of both Ground Zeroes and the Phantom Pain, you will realize that the man here is looking less like a Solid Snake lookalike, as seen on Metal Gear Solid 3, and more like the old Big Boss we see in Metal Gear Solid 4, which is indication that Big Boss is undoubtedly aging. What's peculiar, however, is that Snake's voice isn't even that of Richard Doyle's, or at least as far as I'm aware. Even more peculiar, however, is that it seems as though the original Japanese voice actor for Snake will reprise his role based on what I've heard on the Ground Zeroes trailer. This leads me to wonder, is there some kind of drama llama between Kojima and David that we're not aware of? Regardless of the reason, it's something we'll have to deal with, unfortunately. Don't hold on to any hopes either. David Hayter confirmed that he was never offered the role of Snake for either Ground Zeroes or the Phantom Pain. Kojima himself confirmed as well that David Hayter won't be reprising his iconic role in MGS5. I honestly think this is a very strange move on Kojima's part, but we'll just have to deal with it. On a better note, the man in bandages sounds very much like Kiefer Sutherland.
Gave her a light. She took the short way down.
In fact, I'm pretty damn sure that is Kiefer Sutherland. I've watched enough episodes of 24 to know what Jack Bauer's voice sounds like. I hope this turns out to be true. Speaking of the man in bandages, it is very quickly revealed that his name is Ishmael, who's been watching over a comatose Big Boss for over 9 years.
Been watching over you for 9 years. You can call me Ishmael.
What that means is unknown. Ishmael is perhaps some kind of agent sent by Big Boss's allies to protect him in case somebody tried to kill him. Later on, in his words, he does say that the world wants Big Boss dead for one reason or another.
What the hell is going on? Well, the good news is, you're in the land of the living. Bad news? The world wants you dead.
Ishmael could also be another patient, the one Kaz Miller points at in the trailer.
about him?
Perhaps a former member of the MSF, loyal to Big Boss, who was also injured after the fallout of the destruction of the Mother Base. Perhaps he volunteered to stay and watch over Big Boss after his injuries healed. We don't know yet. He is probably a new character, however, since there is no record of any man named Ishmael in the Metal Gear Solid lore so far, but until those bandages come off, not many accurate deductions can be made about him. On their way out, we can hear a familiar tune first heard on the trailer for Ground Zeroes. Further connecting the two titles. When they finally reach the elevator, a clear display of whom many are assuming to be Little Psycho Mantis can be seen. Based on the fact that Psycho Mantis was born in 1970, he would have to be around 14 years of age during the hospital scene. Why? Well, Peace Walker takes place in 1974, and Ground Zeroes takes place shortly after, so it's either still 1974 or it's 1975 when the Mother Base is destroyed and Big Boss falls into a deep coma. 9 years later, when Big Boss wakes up, the year would be 1983 or 1984, and if you do the math from Psycho Mantis' year of birth, his age would be either 13 or 14. My personal assumption, it's 1984 and he is 14. Lo and behold, this kid right here could definitely be around 13 or 14 years of age. Coincidence? I think not. Now, I have heard some people say that the kid's physique looks slightly feminine, leading some to believe the kid is not Psycho Mantis and actually a girl. Well, here's my rebuttal to that. If you take a look at his older version, you can see that he still retains that skinny figure, along with a slightly feminine body. However, what really sells it for me is the pose he strikes. I mean, come on, if that's not a Psycho Mantis pose, I don't know what is. Soon after, shit hits the fan, and we see a figure that could be one of Psycho Mantis' illusions. This specter is also likely the same one riding the fiery horse chasing after Big Boss and Ocelot in the trailer. Others are saying this man could be some kind of a reference to Volgan, who dies set ablaze in a very similar fashion to what's witnessed here. Furthermore, the trench coat this specter is wearing is very reminiscent of something that Volgan would wear. But what intrigues me the most are the horns of this specter. If you have watched the trailer for Metal Gear Solid 5, you might remember that in the very last scene with Snake on the motorcycle, Snake had a horn jutting out of his forehead very similar to this. I still have no idea what that means, but perhaps this specter is some kind of a dark personification of Snake or something. I don't know. The horn from the trailer is still a mystery to me. This is just my attempt of making some sense out of it. More likely, I think, is that the specter is some kind of reference to Volgan. And unfortunately, the gameplay showcase cuts shortly after. Apart from everything I shared, the rest is just Snake crawling on the floor. So, what do you guys think? Who is the man behind the bandage? Do you think that is Psycho Mantis? Who or what is that specter? Let me know your theories in the comments below and let me know if I missed anything. To be further updated on Metal Gear Solid 5, be sure to join the NASIAN and subscribe to Young Gear. I also cover other AAA franchises and will soon start reviewing games with my review of BioShock Infinite coming soon. Also look forward to my game cinemas like the upcoming Skyrim movie Dragonborn coming on summer of 2013. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much, and Young out.